to the president. I'm just here for support.
Hi, my name is Nicole Fari, and I am the president of the National Junior Honor Society. And tonight I'm here to present our end of year trip to Washington, D.C. That will be 3 days and 2 nights. So we have 2 potential companies that we'll be using, and the first one is Jump Street Educational Tours. And the dates for this trip would be Friday, May 2nd, Saturday, May 3rd, and Sunday, May 4th, 2025. Our itinerary for the trip would be first day, we would leave from school at 8 a.m. When we arrive in Washington, we would have a tour of Capitol Hill at 3:30 p.m. We have scheduled dinner at 5:30 and at 6:30 an illuminated moonlight tour. On the second day, at 9:30, we would visit the Arlington National Cemetery. At 11:30, we would see the U.S. Marine Corps Memorial. At 2 p.m., we would visit the U.S. Memorial Holocaust Museum. And at 4:30, we would see Washington Monument. And at 5:30, the National World War II Monument. And at 6:30, by popular vote, our members wanted to go on a dinner dance cruise that we're doing on Potomac River with the Spirit of Washington. Okay. And on Thursday, we would visit the White House at 9 a.m., go to the Natural History Museum at 10:30, and arrive back home at 8 p.m. This particular company includes night security at our hotel, 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 2 dinners, a 24/7 Jump Street tour leader, and gratuities for the tour leaders and our motor coach operator. And these are the pricing breakdowns. Our next company is Landmark Educational Tours, and we will be going Friday, May 16th, Saturday, May 17th, and Sunday, May 18th. On the first day, we would leave from here at 7 a.m. At 2 p.m., we would see the Natural History Museum. At 4 p.m., we would go to the American History Museum and have dinner at 6 p.m. On Saturday, we would see the Arlington National Cemetery at 8:30 in the morning. At 10:30, the U.S. Marine Corps Memorial. At 1 p.m., we would go to the U.S. Capitol and then to the White House at 3 p.m. And at 3:30, we would see the Air and Space Museum. And then at 6, we would also go on the dinner cruise with the city experiences. And this company, there's one day. Day 3, we would see the Thomas Jefferson, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and Martin Luther King memorials at 8:30 a.m. around the Title Basin. And at 10 a.m., we would visit the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum and arrive back here at 8 p.m. And this company includes nightly hotel security, 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, 2 dinners, 24/7 landmark tour guides, and gratuities for our motor coach operator. And these are their price breakdowns. The next slides are the fundraisers that we have planned for the 2024 and 2025 year. In September, we're going to have a Cineplex fundraiser. Throughout the month, the first 3 weeks we will be selling, and the 4th week we will have the pickups and deliveries to anyone who order. In October, we are going to have a Halloween-themed fun run on October 25th. And it's going to be the high school fitness trail. We are directing it towards elementary schoolers, but anyone from the community can join, and it will be from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Throughout the month of November, we are going to be having a Charleston route, and by the end of it, we will have whatever is sold delivered to whoever bought them. Also in November, a new fundraiser that our other NJHS advisor suggested is a Mr. Coxsackie-Athens pageant or contest for 7th and 8th graders.
This was not me.
Where we would have 7th and 8th graders come up on stage, show prove talent, say a proof joke, and do a little dance, and then there's going to be like a judging for like who's the best. And that will be from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. in the high school auditorium. In December, we're going to have staff versus student basketball shootouts on Wednesdays during office hours in the middle school gymnasium. In February, we're going to have a Cupid candy gram sale from February 1st to the 14th. We're going to be selling during lunches at 10th period. It will be $1 to buy a balloon and a Cupid gram, $1.50 for a balloon, a lollipop, and a Cupid gram, and $3 for 3 balloons, a lollipop, and a Cupid gram. And we will be delivering on February 14th. In March, we are going to have a paper chain sale from March 3rd to the 28th, and we are also going to be selling during lunch and recess for 25 cents per strip. In April, we are going to have a student kickball tournament. The date is set for April 4th, but we might have to move it if there's any home softball game going on. And it's going to be during 10th period, and it will cost $3 to play and $2 to watch. Also in April, we are going to have a car walk on the 25th from 2:30 p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. in the middle school gym parking lot. And finally, in May, we are going to be having a color run on May 9th from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. And it's going to be the same route as the NHS color run.
Things are really busy. Sounds exciting.
Maybe I guess, how many kids are involved on the trip roughly?
So right now we have 74 members currently. I did put out a survey to the students to see who's fully committed as of right now, and right now I've gotten back 31 responses. It's summertime, not everybody's checking their email. We have 30 fully committed right now. So we're thinking possibly between 45 and 50 students for the trip. We are going to have stipulations in place, along with just the general NHS or NJHS guidelines. We're also going to have, if you get a referral for physical misconduct, which you might be removed from NJHS, but you can't go on a trip. If you get 2 referrals for any reason, you cannot go on a trip. If you don't maintain your grades for all 3 quarters or that quarter, you can't go on the trip. Like, you have to fulfill everything that you're supposed to be doing as a member of National Junior Honor Society.
The night boat trip, is that adults and students? How does that work?
It's just for like our group. So I mean, both of these tour companies only geared towards us. We wouldn't be pushed with another group or another school. So they're tailored just to us.
And of course, adult chaperones.
Yes, me and Garrett, who's going to be the co-advisor for NJHS with me, because I can't do NHS and NJHS by myself. It's just a lot. We would obviously chaperone, and then we would like to pull on Greg Hughes, who's gone through this before. Probably mostly the social studies teachers, like Colleen Neslin and Lee Berber is also interested as well. And obviously any parents are more than welcome to chaperone if they would like.
I've done that many times.
It's your timeline, so like crunch. It's gonna be amazing.
So you're hoping to get enough money so that anyone who wants to go can go?
Yes, and it'll be kind of like individualized fundraising, so how much they sell for each fundraiser is going to go towards their amount and hopefully drop that amount. They can also, ask their grandparents or their family members if they would like to make a donation towards their trip for the spring. It's donations, if they want to donate for that experience, they're more than welcome to.
Can you come back at some point mid-year or as you get close, just to give us an idea of what your fundraising is?
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds exciting.
So I saw your number of pages, but they were a little quick to digest. What does it cost an individual for this trip? You said that?
For either of the companies, it's anywhere between $656 to $850, depending on how many students we keep going out, whatever.
We tried to get it was really me. I reached out to one of the companies and kind of tried to get them to lower their prices, and these are the lowest that they would give us on either end, which it was significantly higher, and they dropped it down. and make sure everything was still included.
Yeah, they look good, like good prices for
Yeah.
2 nights and 3 days.
I think it's reasonable at this point, it was not reasonable for other companies, so this wasn't a rate, but then the hotels and travel. Yeah,
That's a job, good job.
Thank you. I like it, Phil.
Because your group raises funds for other things, right?
Yes, so I also do National Honor Society, and we raise the money specifically for the NHS students. Like this year, I was able to give all of the NHS officers a significant portion. And then also to other people that were involved in NHS, they also got a portion of that as well. And the president also got his own scholarship, which was an outside scholarship. But he decided to give up his portion of the funds that we raised for everybody else, so they got a significant amount this year.
So it's scholarships that go towards it.
Yes, and for NJHS, it's different. It's going to be for this trip, which is hopefully going to be better than 6 months. Yeah.
But part of your standard is to do things for others.
Correct, so we have a service project planned that's going to collaborate with National Honor Society. We've done it the past 2 years now. We've collected donations for both food pantries. So we're going to make it a collective effort to have a very big collection. I think that we said possibly in November or February, I can't remember which one. And we're going to divide the donations for the Coxsackie Food Pantry and the Athens Food Pantry, but we're going to make it for NGHS and NHS, so it's going to be a large amount of donations this year.
Yeah, that's good. I like to
Yeah.
hear, these trips are great.
Yes.
But I like to hear what kids can do for people that are less fortunate.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing too. And so there's like 6 chaperones going with like 40 kids, is that what?
Ideally, we would like to have at least 6. It depends on the amount of kids. It's supposed to be 1 chaperone for every 10 kids.
Okay.
But I'm open to as many that would like to chaperone.
You stay up all night?
Yeah, no, that's one of the nightly security.
Oh, that's
It's just
nice.
nice, yeah, it's included with the company, it's not part of the hotel, it's, they actually have somebody like from the company come.
And will you give us the dates of your fundraisers, so we can help
And that was-
support?
Yes, absolutely, you will probably receive those annoying emails from me that I send out every month or so.
Thank you.
Thank you for waiting.
Okay, I was here, I was here back in February when we were doing the budget and updates. You had asked me just to, it was an executive, just to ask about our out-of-district placement students and, you know, where we're at with that. So I wanted to kind of, now that we've had annual reviews and we, you know, the dust is a little settled, we're still, you know, working on summer school and finishing up IEPs for 24-25. I want to just give you a kind of overview of where we stand right now, you know, from the district. So current staffing, I forgot you're on. Current staffing, nothing really has changed too much from last year to this year. Well, one big thing, one additional teacher we're adding to our staffing this year for our classroom that is coming that Mrs. Novak had. We have those kids developmentally, their ages are middle school, so we're moving them over. We're creating a new classroom. We hired a new special ed teacher, so very excited about her. She's actually agreed to work summer school. So she's going to be meeting those kids during over the summer, and you know, we are very excited to have her on board. So those are our counseling or support staff. All of that has stayed the same. So you know, no additional staffing needs there. This is what our current population looks like. We have not we were at 164 last year when we ended the year. We're at 166. Preschool is around 21, we usually run between 21 and 25 students by this time of the year. And then our 504, that has been what we're increasing a lot. Just after the pandemic, there's been a lot of mental health, social, emotional that have come up and that we're addressing. We're vetting that through. We have a process now that we use with the psychologists and our chair people work through that with the teachers through our child support team, which is really important. So we're evaluating this to see what the educational impact is and what we can, and being able to try interventions that we have that the classroom teacher is using. If they do need a 504 plan, we actually have tried these interventions, we know it's going to work for the student. So that has been on the rise, but we have a process, we're vetting it, making sure and working with our teams, working with our parents, and, so far, so we're at 86, that's up for about 10 students from last year. For the whole report card, our 5-year data trend, as you can see, enrollment, as we've been talking about globally as a district, our enrollment is going down, but however, our classification rate is, going up. So, we have a lot of students that have needs. We're seeing a lot of students with, other health impairments is up, students that have a diagnosis of ADHD, anxiety, social emotional, that has increased in the past, I would say, 2 years. So, our rate is going up. But we're still at the state level, usually they want to see 13%, 13, 14, so we're still hovering around that. So I feel comfortable with that. I do meet with the directors every month, and for Greenville, they've had a lot of students move in, so their rate is up fairly high right now. So I feel even though we do get a lot of students in, we do exit students, we do declassified students, so we're hovering around 13% for last year. These are out of district. I know I went over this last time I was here, and as I said last time, the reason why our Quest Star numbers have gone up significantly in the recent years is because of, they just don't have the capacity at these private placements to, take our students in, and they have, staffing issues, or the state has, said that they can open up another program. They're trying to open up different ratios of classrooms and certain programs that we have. But, Quest Star has been responsive to the needs of most of our district, all the districts, so that's why we're seeing an increase there. We are looking at possibly bringing 2 students possibly back next year, not this school year, the following school year. So we're working on, the reevaluation. Our psychologists, and when a student does come back, our psychologist does an evaluation. I go out and review the student, talk to staff, and then I also have, we also have send the teachers that, most likely the program that the student might be going to see the student, and the providers we also send out. So we do have a process there. So when we're making sure that students are successful, because as we know, if they're not successful when we bring them back, it's hard to find another placement for them. They end up being on instruction for a long time, and we don't want that. So this is where we stand for this year. Summer school has started for a few of them right now, of the private placements. Oak Hill started, and so did Northeast. No, Northeast is next week, and St. Helens started this week. So there's some program. So these are non-resident students that I work with Ryan really hard with. Right now we have 7 students that are coming in from out of district, 4 students from Catskill, 3 from Vermax Westerlo. We have 3 are going to be going to apartment 254. I have 1 that's going to the middle school rehabilitation model class that we have. I have 1 that will be in a 12-1-2 over at Coxsackie Elementary, and the new program that we're opening up in the elementary school 812. I have 1 student come from Vermax Westerlo. So we're doing well with that. I think I talk a lot at our chair meetings. We have good relationships with a lot of the directors, and this has been helpful, for giving kids services and needs. So, this is our continuum. Again, I showed this slide to you before. Nothing really has changed in this continuum model. We still have the consultant classes at all 4 schools. The integrated, obviously, is at Coxsackie Elementary, and then the resources at all 4 buildings that we need. Next slide. This is where things have shifted a little bit going into next year, and I'll get into what those acronyms mean, Wayne, solar, climb. I'll get into that in the next slide. But this is essentially where the 812 classroom, what I just talked about, that is going to be kindergarten. We have looking at our kids coming up from pre-K. We had felt the need to open up an 812 classroom to meet those needs. And Mrs. Novak has already started. We also have this this class, the climb. I'll get into what the acronym means. That is Mrs. Novak's class. These are, for lack of a better word, our alternate assessed student, or students that receive the New York State alternate assessment, the life skills, they will be, this class is here, in hopes that then they will be moving up into the high school apartment 254. So that we have that in between middle school class. So we're growing with the students and making sure that we have trajectory of what programs they're going to throw into. And then obviously at the high school, we have the 15-1 core classes in ELA, math, social studies, and science. So those are all available to our students. We do offer a wide range of continuum. We're always looking, what our needs are. At annual review meetings, we do our planning in January, and we're, looking at what the needs are of the students, which is why, we opened up the 812 new students over into the middle school classroom. One of the needs that we're looking at possibly for 25, 26 is, do we need a special class in the high school, a little bit smaller than the 15-1? Do we need a 12? Do we need a 6? Just looking at some of our out-of-district students that might be coming back in, what is the trajectory there? So these are things that we'll be working on for the 25, 26 school year. Any questions on that slide? So this is what rebranding. So we are looking at, because we have a lot of districts that are asking us about our programs, I've asked our teachers to start, instead of calling skilled classroom, I want to call it Department 254. It's called RISE, but they call it, the name is Department 254. So if you click on this, click on the integrated program, back, can you click on the integrated? That link? I don't think anybody else has to look at it. So these are flyers that we will have on our website, the special education that we're revamping. Just kind of gives an overview of what our integrated program offers. We can provide this to our families when we're talking about our integrated programs. What does that program look like? And who's involved in the program. This has been Tori Yost designed this one, so it's been really helpful. And our parents have responded well to this at meetings when we're just sitting there talking about this is what the program is. They have actually something they can look at, refer back to, and ask questions about. And then the RISE program, Department 254, they're going to look at revamping this a little bit, adding a little bit more of their coffee card. You want to just click on that real quick. This is RISE, Reaching Independence Through Support and Education, Department 254. So just look at, and you probably have seen this, we used this during when we had our AASA here as an overview. We're going to add some of our coffee card, the projects that they're doing upstairs. The kitchen is just repainted. It looks wonderful. It was, and they're giving them the facelift of the kitchen, so it looks really, really nice up there. So thank you for supporting that. And so WING, I have to write, I'm still getting used to these. So WING will be our 4, 5, 6 class, and that stands for Wellness, Independence, Nurturing, and Gratitude. And that's Mrs. Ames' class. And then SOAR is Skills, Opportunities for Academics, Readiness. And then CLIMB will be our new habilitation model class. It's Collaborative Learning, Independence, Mentoring, Building Skills, and Building Skills. And those are for our ungraded students. So those 3 teachers will be working really hard this school year during their PLPs and developing a flyer for a brochure of what their classroom is. Next slide. Any questions about that? So just some CPSC data. We completed 14 evaluations here in our district, which is wonderful. The fact that the district is an evaluator site, we're able to serve our students and we're able to get those services quicker because we're able to evaluate, have the meeting, and find the services. So we don't have to wait to find an evaluator, we're able to do that. So last year we were at 14, we're at 14 again this year. We had 2 that went to outside evaluators just because maybe the time, they didn't want to wait, they found a different evaluator that was close to where they work. We had 10 students this year at our EJ program, the integrated with Circle of Friends. We had 2 that went to the Ravenna site, 2 at Starting Place, and 3 with itinerant, and then we had 4 no providers that are on the waiting list. This number is way down. I don't like to see this number at any, I like to see it at 0, but 4 is not bad. It's because they were evaluated probably in March or April, and there was no provider available for the end of the school year. But when I looked today, I'm happy to report that those students will be receiving services in September. So they do have providers in September, but that's probably would be ended in the middle of the year. Next slide. And this is where we ended for our graduation. We had 8 students graduate regents and 2 with our SAC. With the SAC those are the students with severe disabilities and skills achievement commencement credential that they received through the alternate assessment, and we had 2 of those. We had 2 students graduate. And what we're working on, Dr. Fanning is actually doing some data for me. We're looking at reading math data trends. We want to see the last 3 years. We started spring math. We want to see how that is working with our, specifically at special ed students for growth. We also, we had a few teachers who had trained in dosing reading. We want to look at what that looks like. Is it having impact on the reading scores? Does it look like globally, not just in special ed, but does it look like also compared to the general education students and their growth? And then we're going to be working with New York State this coming school year because when they look at our data, when we get reports to the state, we are outpacing, when we look at the issues for getting partners, which is students that we have to look to say outside of the district. We are looking on white, looking at the race of percentage of the white students out to kind of district. So they want us to look at that in that process and making sure that we are following, what is our process and guideline to flow when we decide to send a student outside. So that's really
Can you just go back and explain that piece again?
I'm struggling with it too. So I've heard it when I was at my special education. I go to a meeting once a month. I've had other colleagues complaining that they had basically been more white students in their district and that they had to have this plan to meet with the state, and so you can't help it because we have more whites, like as a parent, we have more white students here than we have, and I can't change that, our demographics. And the state says it doesn't matter, you still have to go through.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's almost reverse discrimination.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. So now I received the letters, and that they've come in to know the core team teachers and we have to go over what our process is, but I can't change who
I'm sorry, and if there's a child, whether they're white, black, green, or both,
Yeah.
we need help, they get help.
Right.
And we don't need weeks and weeks to go through it.
Yeah, so that's, so that's what we're looking at, to some of our friends doing in the fall. I'm still waiting for guidance on that. They just sent Randy and I a letter back in the spring saying that this viewer, whatever data gets reported to the state, that we know we had too many white students.
That's a ridiculous thing they have to worry about. And
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, the question I threw out there, not for maybe discussion down the road, which is this board put a letter together and send it to some, whatever agency that is, just to show our frustration
Yeah.
with the
No,
policy.
Yeah, so, and it was, you could feel the frustration when you were sitting at these, I remember the payroll director was saying, I can't help it that that white students that were suspended, but we don't, that's,
Just part of their job.
Yeah. It's fun. So I don't know what, I will report on that, on what that looks like. Once the person that usually is in charge of it is retiring from the state, so she wrote me a letter shortly after and said, well, I'm retiring, so someone will get in touch with me over the summer. So.
I put down with it.
So, and then we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna upgrade we're upgrading our website. We just want to provide more resources to our families and stuff when we go searching in the district and rebranding some of our programs and what we offer here. So, those are things we're doing. Any questions?
Doing a lot. I'm impressed.
Yeah, get there.
Congratulations on those graduates.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. All right.
Thank you, Katie. Real quick, just Katie mentioned how we have, it's another, how many kids you probably have? 6
7, that's,
That's
yes,
it.
that's your, yeah.
Just to give you, that's revenue. I mean, it's not really seen
From a budget standpoint.
Yeah.
Now, for 5 kids this past year, about $255,000.
It's coming from other districts.
Correct, yes. Like,
That
the
was
slide.
projected in our budget, that we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, a lot of, I mean, we get a lot of people get great programs here. We have a lot of families that come here, they like our the facilities, and it's, I mean, we're at Coxsackie, they've been at all levels, and the parents at all levels, we do tours, and they're just very happy. We had one family that was happy that we were doing the workforce this summer, their students able to come here and do the workforce and get paid, I mean, just, you know, running ourselves into a lot, but they just hear that people want to come here, so.
And the problem with that is when you're from another school and you send your kid here for a year and then you get the program at your school, they're confused to come back to district. So that's, the programs are so good that it's that. Are you using the health report this one?
Yes, and probably that was
Just so I can let my son work on this.
Yeah.
They would just support it and everything.
Okay. I'll
So
yeah, they
I'll
were,
send them on.
yeah. They're relocating this summer because, they're doing they'll be, you know, there's more communities, so they're going to be over in the tourism, and I think we are going to do some.
So go back to your statement, so the parents have a choice?
Well, we don't, no. They don't, but we don't fight. If our, we don't like to keep moving our kids. So if they come over here and they love, and the parents love the programs, once they come, and I have never had anybody complain. But once they come over here, they're like, well, no, we're not going back to district. Am I gonna say, no, if you wanna stay, stay, because you don't want that kid going back. Because,
But what about if the district offers a program, they don't pay, right?
right,
So like if Burn Knox Westerlo offers what we offer and the parents refuse, then they stay there on our dime.
right.
Burn Knox Westerlo no longer pays for that.
No, they can't,
No.
they want to stay here around.
No, we still pay. Even if we have the program,
Wait, you just, wait,
I misunderstood your
no, that's
question.
okay. So you got, so Catskill decides to then put apartment 254. And those kids that are Catskill residents are now going to be brought back from Catskill. But you're saying you guys have to stay?
Yeah, okay.
That's still pretty.
That's still been done.
Well,
That's
that
okay.
is real, well, that's
Well-
Catskill's problem. I'm just saying, that does not sound like a school district.
When you have a school district with a turnover of a special ed person yearly, and you got
Yeah,
three
no,
parents and two
I was just
secretaries,
using an example.
you do
I
what
just-
parents want, it's less.
No, you are correct, like you would think,
No.
if, because when you go back to that least restrictive environment, right, if they have it at their school, you know, why wouldn't they go back? But then it becomes this fight of, like Shelley said, all right, they're in a program, they're successful.
I'm just
Yeah, you wanna do what's
clarifying.
best for
No, but we would not pay for it, no.
I do special ed, I'm all about it, I just.
And you wanna do what's best for the kid, you don't wanna keep moving it, because has been known to have the program for a year, they do away with it, so then they're back. And then they're going back and forth like a yo-yo, so.
Yeah, we don't, but you don't allow them that, that space when they're filled. Yes.
Right.
But we're full, I mean, we open up at 812 classroom, and we're full. I mean, that's, we build it, you know, we put it out there, they will come. Yeah, they will come.